Young people hold the answers for tomorrow. They are the solution to many of the world's problems. Personally, I don't see myself as a very smart person, but I make sure to surround myself with people who are much smarter than me. The truth is, many smart people look for quick success or easy wins, but in reality, real success doesn't usually happen overnight. For us, everything takes time. Whatever we do, we prepare for at least 10 years ahead. I accept that I am not the smartest, but if we want to succeed, we must be ready to achieve results 10 years later, not tomorrow. To succeed, we must work with intelligent people. To succeed, we must also be willing to make mistakes and never give up. The problem is, a lot of people quit after their first mistake or failure. We don't. We keep going. We treat mistakes as lessons. And here's one important piece of advice I've learned. You can usually tell whether someone will succeed or not by how they react to failure. If a person always blames others, they have little chance of success. But if someone says, "It's my mistake, I didn't do it well enough, I should improve here or change there," then that person has opportunities waiting for them. I've learned the most from people who failed. I've also learned from my own mistakes. This is my way of thinking. When I fail, I say to myself, "See, I failed." And when I succeed, I'm surprised and say, "I never expected this success." This attitude keeps me positive and hopeful. Because of so many failures, I've learned not to complain. Failure became part of my journey, something I got used to. Even today, we still make mistakes, sometimes even foolish ones. At first, we think we're making a smart choice, but later it proves wrong. Still, we learn. We try again. We keep moving. That's how life works. I also believe that when everyone is complaining, that's when real opportunities appear. When I was younger, just graduating from school and university, I used to think people like Bill Gates had taken all the good opportunities. Larry Ellison from Oracle, IBM, and others had already built huge companies, and I wondered, what chance do people like us have? But later I realized my mistake. I was aiming too high. Instead, I should focus on helping the people around me, starting small and doing simple things. I never imagined we would reach this point. Yet after 18 years, Alibaba has grown to the size it is today. How can you do something different? How can you do something that is enjoyable, meaningful, and useful for others? First, don't believe the idea that technology will completely take away human jobs. Yes, technology will replace many tasks, especially the ones that don't require much thinking. But history shows us that every major technological change has created more opportunities in the long run. When the first industrial revolution came with the steam engine, people were worried that machines would destroy jobs. But after a few decades, those machines actually created more employment. The same thing happened when electricity was introduced. People feared losing work, but electricity gave rise to countless new industries and jobs. The same will happen with artificial intelligence. It will create opportunities we cannot even imagine today. The challenge is that in the next 20 to 30 years, many existing jobs may disappear. This period will be difficult, but it will not last forever. That's why we must prepare ourselves to live and succeed in the age of artificial intelligence. Now, why do humans still have the advantage over machines? Machines may be stronger, faster, and even more intelligent in some ways, but they will never have what makes us truly human: wisdom, belief, values, and a heart. These are things no machine can replace. So if you want to be ready for the future, don't depend on the old style of learning. Don't just focus on memorizing facts, because computers can remember more than you ever could. Don't compete with machines in calculation either, because they will always be faster. Instead, focus on creativity. Focus on innovation. Focus on building and creating. Every time you learn something, ask yourself, will this make me more creative? Will this make me more innovative? Will this help me build something valuable? If yes, then it's worth learning. Remember, when most people are worried, that's when opportunities are born. Fear will not stop technology from moving forward. Whether you worry or not, this revolution will continue. So why waste energy being afraid? People often ask me, "Jack, in the past 18 years of building an online business in China, did you ever cry?" My answer is no. Crying doesn't solve anything. If crying could help, I'd cry every day. But it doesn't. Instead of crying, make your competitors cry. Stay positive and get yourself ready for the future. Young people will play the most important role in tomorrow's world. They are the answer to today's challenges. When you stay close to young people, you gain energy and hope. But I always remind them, and I remind myself too, nothing comes easy and nothing comes free. If you want success, you must be willing to pay the price. Over the past 18 years, yes, we were lucky, but luck alone is not enough. We worked harder than most people can imagine. We rarely slept well. Last year, I spent more than 860 hours on airplanes, traveling non-stop to build the business. My team worked tirelessly day and night. In 18 years, we put in the effort of what a normal company might do in 70 years. This is the reality. Nothing is free and nothing is easy. Easy means you must think differently. You must act differently. In the early days of my company, people would bring me ideas and say, "Jack, this is a great idea." When I looked around, everyone agreed it was good. Whenever that happened, I usually threw the idea away. Why? Because if everyone thinks it's good, then many others must already be working on it. But if people said, "This idea is really difficult," that's when I became interested. I wanted to know, how can we approach this challenge in a different way? That is how you create something unique. That is how you stand out. And here sits my advice, something I remind myself every single day. Today is difficult. Tomorrow will be even harder. But the day after tomorrow will be wonderful. The problem is, most people give up tomorrow evening before reaching that wonderful day. That's why you must keep working hard. Every tough moment, every struggle, every challenge you face, that is training for your growth. When you graduate from school, that is not the end of learning. It is just the beginning. Whether you receive a bachelor's degree or a PhD, that diploma is only proof that your parents paid for your education. The real test begins after you leave college. That is when real life starts. That is when the true exam begins. That is what life is all about.